The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have been going for quite some time now, and where I haven't loved every episode, I have to say, last season totally kicked butt, especially with Ghost Rider. But now we're going to do it in space! Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Episode 1. Wow, 5 years. I guess considering what happens in the episodes, 5 years is nothing, but alright. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are back in space! And what do we have? Well, overall, we have the fact that the agents are primarily the same ones that ended last season, except for the fact that, of course, we split up Fitz and Simmons again. Fitz says they're cursed. I'm not sure I disagree, especially since, we could have had the whole Star stuff romance, but okay. We still have a few Inhumans on, even though I wasn't too fond of the Inhuman show, that's why I didn't review it. In general, maybe now is a good time to bring this up. What I do here is I review shows, talk about the hows and the whys of telling stories, plus, of course, just be like, oh, that's cool, and geek out. If that sounds interesting to you, click the subscribe button. Now, a little bit of history. Way back in Season 1, I thought the guest house was going to be the introduction of S.W.O.R.D. I really thought that we were going to have all three of the agencies working together. Over time, because we've had dimensional stuff, we know that they're not really going to do that. But seeing that the name of this episode was going to be Orientation, I kept sitting there and go, Orientation in S.W.O.R.D., Orientation in S.W.O.R.D. Especially since I get the feeling that we're going to get some Captain Marvel stuff. Now, the three agencies I talk about are S.W.O.R.D., S.H.I.E.L.D., and Armor. Armor is interdimensional, S.W.O.R.D. is cosmic and space, S.H.I.E.L.D. is basic human base. I also am hoping for Captain Marvel's references, and at first, at the beginning of this episode, I thought I was going to get some of them, and was like, oh, I'm going to be on the lookout all season for Kree-related Captain Marvel references. But, well, probably not. Let's throw this up there and get started. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. So we pick up pretty much exactly where we left off last season, except actually rewind a little bit. And we have these guys that are, well, rather unknown. Like I said, mostly it's just a bunch of jokes about them being in space. Some of them good, some not so good. We're introduced to a new character or two, and we're reintroduced, if this is your first time watching, to exactly what people's capabilities are. We get to see Quake in action with the fact that she can blast out energy rays that are basically seismic rumbles. We also get the fact that Simmons is a biologist, but, maybe she'll just invent time travel. Fitz has been left behind, so, not much with him, even though, again, the two of them were a really great couple together. And, by the way, since he was the mechanical genius, he's the one that might have actually been able to invent time travel, although Starkey is not. Then we have Mac. Mac is both tough and mindful. He is the engineer. And then we have the cavalry, May. We have Yo-Yo, who has a very small burst of super speed, and all of that is explained rather well. If you didn't know the show, if you've never seen an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this is all a great 1-2 introduction to who and what they're capable of. Of course, then we go into Crazy World. I didn't pick up on it when they did the 17-minute preview, although others did, so hats off to them. They didn't just travel through space, they traveled through time. Who sent them there and why isn't fully answered, but there's some sort of prophecy, and as you all know, prophecies suck. Although, to be fair, it's time travel, so it's not really so much prophecy as much as it's history records that at some point the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. get sent to the future and then sent back. Of course, this leaves the question about who's wearing the human suit in the past and using the monolith to transport people through time. Well, along with a bunch of other questions, like what happened to the Earth, and why the monolith would be needed to be used this way to begin with. I mean, if you could send information back so that people know to send these people to the future, then wouldn't the information of just don't do X be important to send to... You know what? I'm not going to pick apart this, because it was a fun episode, with a whole bunch of fun references, from things like, hey, don't you have a moon base? No, actually, that's you guys. Hey, don't you have a space agency called Spear? No. Well, that was kind of a S.W.O.R.D. reference. And at the same time, we have fun little moments where We have like, hey, they killed 2 Kree. You can't kill Kree. Do you realize how important those are? And then there are the roaches. These things. They look so much like Brood. I'm so gonna just call them not Brood. However, our new character brings up a whole new thought process, a whole new theme that symbolizes what this whole season's going to be about. What do you do at the world's end? Do you fight for survival? Do you fight for the way of life? Do you try to make things better? Or do you just try to get by? And what would you be willing to do? What would you be willing to sacrifice in order to survive what is basically an apocalypse? I started tonight wondering whether or not I'd see any Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel Easter eggs, and ended the night wondering, would I be strong enough to fight for a better world, or would I be cowardly enough to want to have to settle in the one that I have? And there's a question we'd all have to ask ourselves as we get ready to spend an entire season figuring out what went wrong. Did Quake destroy the Earth? And will we get to see Fitz again? Well, for now, for those of you that liked my ramblings, hit that thumbs up button and share this video with a friend or family member. And click that subscribe button to join our little community. Right now I'm in the 70s for subscribers, and when we hit 100, I'm going to give away an Amazon gift card to a lucky subscriber. But for now, I just want to thank you for joining our little community here. I'll be putting up videos on Friday nights on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But for now, thank you for walking with me through the heart of the first 2 episodes of the season.